Even though it's about Auschwitz, it turned out to be quite a harmonious work. Many were very surprised about that.
The Süddeutsche newspaper features this article today. That was Mr. Baroni Blaschke, who accompanied us in Prague and to the concert in Budapest. Roger, what you have done is history.
Imagine I wrote the first notes of my Requiem in the last century.
And today, we're in the Alte Oper. It's not just a concert, it's a message. The people are very interested.
I'm surprised by how much attention this has created. For me, it's the recognition of the suffering that we experienced during the Nazi era. It took so long for us to get recognition. It took 20 years for this to be implemented. And now it's nice and very tranquil. Sony Weiss is a venerable Sinti who just about escaped deportation. But he lost his whole family in Auschwitz. Right-wing extremism has returned to Europe. We have to think hard to make sure it doesn't happen again.
In 2008 and 2009, violent right-wing extremists committed a gruesome series of murders of Roma in Hungary. During the parliamentary elections in 2014, the right-wing extremist Jobbik party got 20% of the votes.
When I was a child, I went to a concert. I was very young when I went to an orchestral concert with my parents, where I heard symphonic music. I really liked the flute. It was the first time I heard a flute live, and that's when I decided I wanted to play the flute. It never occurred to me to play a different instrument or one that goes well with gypsy music, like the violin or the clarinet. Not everyone sees gypsies as they are. I don't really know why that's the case. I can't know. The causes of that are in the past.
Jeanette Barani attended some of Peter Tsuhi's lectures when she was studying music. He's a curator and Roma scholar who works in the Ethnological Museum.
I heard your interview about the Liszt book and the Liszt exhibition on the radio. Many musicians still believe Franz Liszt only explored Hungarian music. It was later recognized that he revived gypsy music with his works. He wanted to get to know Hungarian folk music.
Well-known musicians worked in the houses of Hungary's aristocratic families. Joseph Haydn worked in the Esterházy family, for example. The Liszts were a tenant farming family. The father was too, but he was a musician. The Esterházy family did not just pay for Liszt to have lessons, but for gypsy musicians too. A landlord could certainly afford a gypsy band at the time.
I can't say when exactly that developed. I know too little about it.
The first confirmed dance was the Verbumkosh, then the Csárdás. Many are currently working for gypsy music to be recognized as an Hungarian cultural asset. We all have to work together, despite our differing opinions, different training, and different countries. There must only be one version, and that version has to flourish in concerts. I've played with various orchestras around the whole world, and it's still very strict. It's very strict here too normally, but it's different when the musicians are gypsies. I really enjoy it. It's quite unusual. The concert will be very good.
These shoes had their premiere with the Berlin Philharmonic. Now they're in Brauweiler, and they'll accompany me around the world, including to Brussels and America.
Ladies and gentlemen, this year the Classic Nights event is launched in a new form, twice the size you're used to. And so, it was especially important to us to invite the European Sinti and Roma Orchestra this year. I don't want to beat around the bush. It's intended to be a political signal too, and so I'm particularly grateful that they're here. We have to work to get the key to unlock a better future, and that's education. Education, education, education. People have to learn to think for themselves. To ensure that the Roma and Sinti have the same opportunities as every European. No more and no less.
I would like to be able to show the whole world that the Sinti and Roma have good sides too. When you hear the word Roma, you mustn't think of stereotypes. You should think about the Roma and Sinti Philharmonic too.
My deepest wish would be for the Roma and Sinti Philharmonic to become a state orchestra in the future, a permanent orchestra, but out of love and respect, not out of guilt.
I want a permanent orchestra here in Brussels. I want the Roma and Sinti Philharmonic to exist for Europe. We need institutional support so that we can live and work here.
I support you gladly, but I'm just one member of parliament. But the idea is very good.